Welcome back again to Real Talk with your girl Natoya Perkins. So today our topic is going to be love and relationship. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment in the box, and go ahead and share it with your friends so they can join in. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Real Talk with Natoya Perkins. Welcome back to Real Talk, and we are here with Suzette Cole and Oral Cole telling us about their love story and their love journey, where it started from, and the nitty-gritty of how they got to 8 years of marriage. Young couple started out, and here they are now. I am, goosebumps running across me, two young Christian, living the life of what God depicts in the scripture, to say that the husband loved his wife like Christ loved the church, and so the woman must also respect the husband. So Mr. Cole and Mrs. Cole, I want to ask you guys, because you have so many nice, wonderful stories. What is love language, and what is Oral's love language, Susan?
See? You see? Yes. You see? Yes.
How does he receive love?
He received love by touching.
Touching, okay.
Me being patient with him. Me not annoying him. Me listening to him when he's playing his music. So those are just a few stuff that I know that is definitely his language. Just by me being present, not just being there physically, but being there present spiritually. So when my house, our house, is a worship house. There's always some form of music, worship song playing. He's always doing some form of music, and if he's doing those stuff, when I'm present there, he loves that. And that makes a great time when it comes to intimacy.
Wow. We don't want to go into that now, but you see, doing things together that the other person loves. We'll touch on a little bit of that later, and just how the love language connects and how the effects of it. Mr. Oral, tell us, what's Suzette's love language?
Main love language is attention.
Is what?
Attention.
So she loves quality time.
Yes.
And once you can, as she said, be present with her. Whatever it is that she's doing. Sometimes it don't really go well with you, but once you can, fulfill those things that she has in her mind.
Yeah. So you are saying you compromise even though it's nothing that's not you.
Just to make sure that she have only got teeth in the mouth.
So how do you feel? So how do you feel when in yourself, when you have to, it's like a work to go do something that is not of you.
If it is,
no.
I always say if I am not comfortable, I won't be doing it.
Nope.
Okay. All right. That's fair enough.
It is concerned. Where things are concerned, if my mind is not comfortable doing something, there's no way you can get it.
But her love language is quality time.
Right. For her.
So.
For her happiness and for her pleasure. That you would have to make compromise on. For instance, she likes to dance, even though she don't really know.
Can't dance.
Yeah, but she loves to dance. And it's not really something that I do.
But
sometimes she want me to do dance, like some
ballerina.
And then what do you do? Tell us now, how does understanding each other's love language bring you into that intimacy, as Suzette mentioned earlier?
All right, for where she's concerned, if I'm trying, even though I might not be able to do all of it, that is bonus. That is plus where I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Just the fact that I, take the time to do that for her, and it also helps her self-esteem where it is concerned, because she gets the idea that yes, she's a ballerina, or she's able to go up a pole and come down and stuff like that.
Even in your head, you said you can't do that. Way better try for.
So those are the things you try and make sure that you don't try and kill her spirit.
Yes.
Or you don't try and kill her dreams where those things are concerned. And everybody enjoy afterward.
Yeah, good enjoyment too.
Nice enjoyment. Holy Ghost, hallelujah.
So when you're present, when you're not just doing it, but you're actually present, you're taking that time out of everything that is around you, but you're present, you're doing what the person loves. Because this brain have a lot of things in it, my brain.
Me too.
It's have a lot, there's a lot of things, they just don't manifest as yet. Yeah. So when you as my partner, my priest, my prayer buddy, my best friend, my everything, because that's what he is for me, to me. When he participates in these stuff, it shows me that you care, you understand, and these are some of the stuff that you did while we were courting. So why should it change when we're married?
Right.
It shouldn't stop. We should still be learning stuff about each other. We should be present with each other still. So I don't see why it should stop. And then the reward is always greater, because when you're serving God, your reward is to get that crown, right?
Exactly.
So when you're pleasing your wife or your husband, there must be a reward.
What is a big cookie monster? Watching face, you see him, yes, man, you see face, please. Him now, he started to blush now. Great is your reward. So, but the good thing is that he's not doing it, even though he's doing it for the reward and the praise and all these things, he's present, as you say, and you feel it. Sometimes a woman can feel if you're actually doing it just for the moment to just move on, or she can identify if you just want to do it for yourself to make you feel good, or is it for the relationship? We are very sensitive in that way. It's not that we are lacking and we have low self-esteem, but as a women, we can, discern, especially if you're a woman of God. Any woman, it don't really matter. You discern that.
An intuition.
Yeah. Pause and unmute and come back. Right. So we have to, male and female alike has to have to, based on what Mrs. Cole, the Coles basically have been saying to us, is that love language is key in a relationship. Find out what that is. If the person is telling you, did you have to tell her what her love, tell him what your love language is? He has, because you just identify it, that this is what she likes. And and sometimes we talk about it too. We're just talking.
Honestly.
So, even so, we just want to put it out there that young men, young women, if you are planning to get married, and if you are already married, know your partner so you can please your partner, even if it's something that is not in your own desire to do. All right. What is one thing, each of you, this now we're going to the hitting part now, the nice part, sweet up. But what is one thing that drive the other person nuts, like, that, do you even have one of those moments? Just one thing I need, because
you go.
Go ahead, Warren. One thing that makes you like, geez, stop.
I don't really know if it is something that drives you up the wall, but she tends to repeat herself regularly.
Yeah.
It's like you and her talk and she, like her brain just stuck on that one thing and the brain just keep gonna go back over it. Sometimes, Susan, you say it already. In that
woman thing, hush baby.
I know why I wanna do that thing.
We're doing it because one, to see if you actually hear what we say or understand.
That is a problem.
And you're not responding.
The funny thing about it, a man hears the moment you say something. You don't need to hear it again.
But you're not responding. So why don't? So what is it that?
Hear what you have said.
Yes.
And say he has received what you had said.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you have said it, you don't need to say it again.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he has not answered. When he finish or at the time that he wants, when he's comfortable, you go and do it. For instance, she told me that the washing machine is not working. So it either stop spinning or something electrical. She told me that last week. This week start, she come back with the same thing. Don't remember that washing machine. I said, you told me already, you don't need to tell me again.
All right, let me.
You know.
Okay.
Suzette, why you keep telling him after 1 week, next week, and so forth? Why you keep going back and him tell you that? You tell him or him tell you?
Because he don't respond. He didn't respond. That's what drives me crazy.
Okay.
I say oral X, and then he's just said, this is the most that he will speak.
Wow.
With a third party. That is not a family. That is not a church. Right? So when it's just us, if it's not what he wants to hear or anything that is going to benefit the relationship, not even work you want to talk about. Once he's from leave work and he comes home, or how was your day? How was work? Silent. Nothing about work. So I'm like, I'm talking to you. So when the machine needs to be fixed or something, I expected a response, but I knew I wasn't going to get one, but I still repeat myself.
You wait 1 week and still not get a response and still watching. 1 week, no response. Still waiting on the response. And then you have to say it again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once you say it already, it is already known that the thing is not working or whatever it is not going that way. Until the man actually comfortable or at a place where he wants to speak about it, it doesn't matter how much time you say it in the talk.
So let me ask you, because I don't want to be siding with females only. I want to get your perspective, because sometimes the men always have a reason. So yes, you hear it already and you hear it one time, but it took you 2 weeks to coming back. What is going on in your head? Why you never fix it or respond?
Right, so there are 2 ways you can work out a situation. See, if you want to do it yourself, or you're going to call somebody to come and do it. So if you're going to get somebody to come and do it, you then can't carry the person come do it and you don't have finances to pay the person. So you have all of that to work out. When you're going to do it for yourself, you just get up one day, pull down the entire thing, and you see whether or not it can fix by you. If it can't fix by you, that means you have to get an external person. You know you have to come up with your funds. If it can be fixed by you, all you do is probably buy the parts, put it in, and it's back working. When you talk about get somebody who is trained to deal with it, it will cost you once you have to carry somebody.
So
let me ask you. Go ahead, Susan.
I was saying, why never tell me that?
So
why you didn't say that?
But this is our real talk. We're not getting to that. But let me ask you this now. The next question I want to ask, I don't know if it's on my question list, but I know generally, with this, the line of way this is going, how do you solve the problems? Like how you have this stuff, how, for you to say we are married, but we are happily married. How do you solve let us know, as young people and older persons, married people, single people, how would a husband and a wife work through this? What was the solution, and how did you put that love language to play, the compromise to play? How go ahead.
For me personally, there are many times that we have disagreements, and it's not like disagreement where it's just today or tomorrow. Sometimes you have a disagreement and it lingers for more than a week. But for me, my relationship with God is more important than the way I feel. So there are times when we can't sleep, when time we have a disagreement, and me can't sleep, she never can sleep. And the same thing vice versa. If she can't sleep, me can't sleep. So in when we are not, talking,
connecting
freely with each other and communicating spiritually with each other, I have always have to contend with the fact that what would Christ have done? He thought that I wasn't worthy enough for his salvation. And things like those always haunt me. So instead of carrying on something that is not necessary or doesn't really go far where our relationship is concerned, I try my best to do what is necessary to keep our communication and our connection in line with each other. So even though it might not have been my fault, and this is me being honest, I have to apologize where it is concerned, because it's always my fault. But in my view, it is not. But in her view, it is.
Yes.
And so things like those, you have to learn how to compromise and to make sure that we do enjoy our relationship. Because some things tend to linger, and it cause instead of having a a more younger look to yourself and to your relationship, it looks like you're getting older faster. Serious. There are relationships that are younger than ours, and it does look like
it's older. Yes.
So if you linger on negative, you will more likely look the same negative.
So as the man who you see that she's not satisfied with the response, and the argument keeps going on wrong, you as the man, you are saying what you're just saying to me, or I'm regurgitating, to say you would compromise, and we talk about our, meet some way.
A different way to communicate where it is concerned.
Find another way. Okay.
Yeah, because I've learned in life, even though this door might be closed, it doesn't mean that the other door won't be open. So even though you might not get it the way I'm saying it to you at first, doesn't mean that you won't get it if I come at a different angle.
Right.
And she herself have learned from our relationship that there are things that sometimes we may fall on where communication is concerned. But when we do get back in line with each other, everything else just fall back into place, right? Our spiritual connection, our physical connection, and our mental connection just falls back into place. And for such, it is not that I am saying that I am, right at the altar where Christ is concerned, because I'm human, and things do happen that your mind weren't ready to deal with. And in so your reaction, I would always tell her, I might not get it right the first time, but I'm positive that I will learn from the mistake. Right? And when you learn from that mistake, you then try your best not to go back that route.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is that trying your best not to go back that route, not just saying you're trying, but actually doing it. So she now will start knowing and trusting that, when he says that, that's what he's going to, because I see him actually making that effort physically, mentally. And I see that Suzette is agreeing.
You see, sometimes I think he's closer to God than I am. So I'm always trying to, it's not a competition, but I'm trying to be at that level.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that God loves me just the same. But I know for me, when it comes on to disagreement with us, myself tend to want to kick it. And then there are times when I'm reminded of our relationship before we got married. Yes, it's very important that what you had before as a couple, if it was a good thing, you need to take it back into your marriage.
Right.
We always communicate. Always communicate. That was never, and I don't think it will ever be an issue for us. We always find some way to communicate. So when he's not sleeping, I can't tell you. I remember one night when he thought that we had an argument. I want to say argument, I said a disagreement, because he won't speak in anger. If there's something wrong, he will not talk about it right then and there. He'll just leave and that's it. And then I want to talk about it, so it won't. So then I just leave him. I remember one night when we just had a disagreement, I found him over me praying.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Pause for a moment. She found the man of God praying over her. Continue. I'm just putting it out there, guys.
Yeah. I found that amazing. And I think this was like in our 5th year of marriage. That's the first time I catch him. There have been many other times that I catch him praying over me while he thinks I'm sleeping. And I saw him praying over me, but in myself I was saying, this man I do over me, but then self had to come out of self and realize that this is the priest of my house. This is the priest that is supposed to be leading me. Now, if we are in this position where we're not been connecting together, his way of resolving is to go to a higher authority.
Oh, so Lord.
Outside to say to somebody else, but he went to a higher authority. So when he went to that authority, I was touched to pray back for him. So while he was there praying, not knowing that I seen him, I started to pray and asking God for forgiveness, not just for myself, but for him as well, because maybe we had said something that we shouldn't have said, maybe we have thought about it and all these things. So it's just covering each other at all times.
Wow.
And we're not perfect. We're not perfect. The only thing that I would say is that we allow ourselves to be ourselves and to be leaded by God.
Right.
Not saying that it is easy, not saying that it's because when him come in and put on the socks, sometimes you want to say, but you have to remember who you are and who you belong to at all time, not sometime. Because when you think nobody's watching, there's always somebody watching you. Always somebody. And when you face that person and have to give them that report, you tell me no. What will your answer be? You can't lie now because they saw it.
Yeah.
So you have to be obedient at all time, not just to each other, but to the Spirit.
Yeah.
At all time. And when I say we cover each other in prayer, covering each other in prayer while being angry at the same time is not easy. But you have to first deny yourself. Because remember, it's not about you anymore, it's about us. And making this work. And nobody can make it work but you too.
And the ministry that God has for your life together.
Well, what is that ministry? We don't even know.
Something is coming. This is it. You are doing it.
We just allow ourselves to be used by God. As he said, he's not this type, and I really appreciate you doing it with me.
Wow.
So, these are little things that
something I got spice up on tonight, man. Hey, fire.
No, we're trying to compliment each other when we do these little things for each other. It don't have to be anything big.
Yeah.
It don't have to be anything drastic. Just as him being here, and you notice he's participating.
Yeah, a lot.
I did not expect this, but I know that he will. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. I have to say that, All right, so that's a wrap, guys. It was a pleasure, Mr. and Mrs. Cole, to have you. I've learned a lot, and I'm sure everybody who is going to be watching this is going to be learning a lot. Please remember, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I want you to like this video, share it with a friend, listen, leave a comment in the chat box, and we'll see you next time on Real Talk with your girl Natoya Perkins. Bye.